Well, you see, initially Marshall, the dean, or acting dean at the moment, of the faculty, approached me about this. And I said, no, it's a very good idea. And then, we got in contact. And so I think the first benefit was that we were able to sit down and work out what are the relevant questions. I think that was really important for me. And the reason for that is because I deal with projects, which is not like a normal subject. And so the questions that I needed to ask of the students had to be very specific, which are different from what I would have asked if they had lectures and exams and that kind of stuff. So that made a big difference to me, because in the past the forms were set and they were designed for lecturers doing, for example, it said, does the lecturer come to class on time? Well, I never go to class because the students come to my office, for instance, just to give one anyway. So that was very useful. The customization was really very useful. The second thing is that the feedback was, well, almost instant. In other words, much faster than before. And I think to me that means a lot, because it doesn't help me to get feedback the following semester. I want to know now what's happening so I can make changes if necessary. So that was a big plus. But personally, the most useful part was that the feedback that I got was very positive. Okay, and that makes me feel good. Because if I'm doing something and the students get a benefit and they say thanks very much or give a positive response, well, clearly I want to do more. It's a reinforcing thing, So I think if you put all those three together, I think this is a very good initiative. It takes away a lot of the bureaucracy and all the paper channels that people get caught up in, and you get the feedback when you need it. So I think, yeah, please go ahead and keep doing this. Every semester is different. And so what happened last year might not happen now. I don't particularly value hindsight, because you just don't know what's going to come through the door tomorrow. So the bottom line is, I think students, if I had to say one thing, just as a sort of a validation, if I can put it like this, a lot of people think that the students that we have are underprepared, they're not particularly clever or whatever, which is complete nonsense. If you look how well they perform when they're challenged, but in a way that's meaningful. I think one of the biggest challenges that we have here in any institution for that matter is that the students, they hear all these words we tell them, but they don't understand what we're saying. So they just repeat the words, get a pass and move on. What we try and do is change that around. We ask the students the questions. And at some point they actually realize that what they're doing has meaning. It's not just some words, blah, blah. You go into the lab, you press the button, the thing works. It's real. It's not some imaginary stuff. When that happens, the level of motivation goes right up, because it's only then that they realize that they're in control of their life here. Otherwise, they keep thinking some lecturer has a bag of marks and he only gives them to the good students, and that's rubbish. So I think the validation, in other words, the feedback from the students telling us this is very good. And also if you see them, it's amazing. They just come to life. So suddenly, I think for me that's the biggest value. When you actually say, okay, well, because otherwise one can say, no, you're making the students suffer, you keep asking 1,000 questions, it's never enough, but they say, no, it's good. And so I think the validation is the benefit. But what will happen this year? Well, we have to do it again to find out.